little somber news, we now want to recognize the memory and legacy of Lenny Gessler, as we did last night during the football game. Lenny was a devoted member of this Hall of Fame committee, and he was the master of ceremonies for this distinguished event for the last several years. Lenny was a special person, kind, compassionate, and caring, hard to find sometimes these days. And the time and effort he spent supporting Fitch Athletics will create a void that will be challenging to fill. He passed away suddenly last month and is sorely missed by those who knew him and loved him. At this time, we ask for a moment of silence for Lenny and two other Hall of Fame committee members we lost recently, Dr. Tom Stowers and the legendary teacher and coach, Jim Duramo. Thank you. And now we would like to call up two of our township trustees who are here with us this evening. And they have some special recognitions they would like to talk about. And they do a wonderful job. Monica Peters and the team there, and they will have some recognitions that they would like to talk about. Please.
Thank you very much. I'm Robert Santos. I'm the chairman of the Austintown Township Board of Trustees, and I'm here today with my co-chairman, Trustee Monica Peters. Trustee Bruce Shepard wanted us to extend his congratulations to all the inductees. He had a personal matter he had to take care of tonight, but he sends his thoughts and definitely congratulations each and every single one of you. I know I'm limited to 45 minutes, I believe that's what it is. So I have a chance to be talking, so I don't want to speak tonight so that we all cover the 30 seconds. The Board of Trustees of Austintown Township is proud to announce the issuance of these proclamations honoring the 2024 Austintown Fitch Athletic Hall of Fame inductees. We extend our heartfelt congratulations to each individual and team recognized for their outstanding contributions and achievements. Your dedication and excellence have been significantly enriched our community, and we are grateful for your impact. These proclamations serve as a testament for your remarkable accomplishments and the legacy that you continue to build in our community. Thank you, and congratulations about these.
Go Falcons.
Thank you, Mrs. Santos. Appreciate it. As we mentioned, there's been 15 classes before this one, and I'm sure many of you who are part of that are out there this evening. So far, we've inducted 212 individuals and teams together over the past 15 years. So if you are a member of this distinguished Hall of Fame, we ask that you please rise and be recognized. And now we will begin the induction ceremony. This is always a highlight of the evening. We hear great comments from the past, the present, and even some projections into the future. But we will begin tonight with Mike Slobodka, basketball, class of 1988. Back in the day, it was infrequent to find premier basketball players who were really good at baseball too. But even as well, told me he was much better at basketball. And Mike was one of them. And Mike would be the first to tell you he had great coaches at Fitch, Rich Devlin, Tom Fender, Rich Mapola, and John Rowe. Mike moved on to college and took advantage of opportunities at Ohio State University, Youngstown State University, and Cleveland State University. Mike then built a great education career and a great family with both Sharon and two daughters. We also want to know that Mike made time to not only coach, but inspire young Austintown kids after his playing days. He's remembered as a good coach in person, who did things the right way, always taking time to assure his young players they were doing okay and they would get better along the way. Let's now invite Mike Slobodka into the Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
like to begin, start off by thanking the Hall of Fame Committee. We all know this is just a wonderful evening and event. Truly honored for this recognition. This rather shocking, but I'll take that. Shocking my own kids. When I told them that when I got that phone call, I said, hey, you need to stay this weekend. And they're like, what? What did you do? And so what did I do? I shot the basketball a lot. I didn't say it went in, but I like to shoot. But as we're thinking about it and reflect, the how and why I ended up here, I always think about this is really about other people. Anytime you get any type of achievement, it's really a collective group. It's a collective group of others, support that they all provided you. I want to take some time to recognize those individuals and thank them. To begin, my parents, obviously I wouldn't be able to do anything without them. For all the encouragement, the support, really it's the opportunities they provided me. It wasn't just about the rise, getting to and from practice, but for me it was an opportunity, very young age, to experience athletics. I was exposed early up elementary school. I was very fortunate my father would take me to all kinds of sporting events, professional games, seeing his beloved Steelers, pro basketball, big Celtics fans. We attend all these games. One thing we always would attend were the fish games. And at that time, when you're young, and this is the mid-70s, you hear that fight song, you see the big crowds at those games, and it starts you really to get excited about something. And for me, what really triggered it was the 79-80 basketball team. I remember like it was yesterday, but that yesterday, this is probably not the most enlightening, or I should say, it's a little more disturbing. It's 44 years ago. I was like, I can't even remember, but I remember the things from that season. It wasn't one game, but I remember like it was yesterday. My buddies and I were sitting mid-court. They were playing Northwestern Reserve. They get beat at the buzzer. And at that time, as a kid, it's like equivalent right now if Ohio State loses a football game. You're sick to your stomach. Well, right then, it's kind of started to trigger things that interest. That great team, those players, I idolized them. See Steve Hamwatch over there, Don Woloski. They were up here on that pedestal. When you're in 4th and 5th grade, you get hooked. And at that point in time, I was like, this is what I want to do. They played in front of huge crowds, the environment, the community support. They regional champion or regional game down in camp that year. I don't know how many buses the community took down there. Place was, people were waiting in line hours before the gate even opened. That's a credit to this community, always has been, and been extremely fortunate to play athletics here. But watching that team, you start to think, what does it mean, to be a Falcon? And watching those individuals and that team, you think about the culture that you can see. Even though I was young, I started to figure that out. The team first mentality, excellence. They always handled themselves with class. They were tough. Their effort was relentless. And to me, that's kind of what some of the characteristics it is to be a Falcon. And when you have a community and that type of support, and you have a situation or a culture where kids want to be part of something, you want to be part of that. That doesn't exist everywhere, but it exists today. And that doesn't happen, right? It doesn't happen without great leadership. We were fortunate at that time, Coach Denman, right? Coach Denman, you know, as a coach, it's fortunate to have Coach Denham and Coach Fenner as my head coaches. They just weren't great coaches, they were great coaches. Extremely well respected. Those were individuals that you never wanted to, you know, let them down. I want to thank you for creating and developing such an outstanding, well-respected program. It was always one of those programs that was used, one of the best, you know, in the area. Always did things the right way. Always handled ourselves with class. Made it enjoyable. The biggest thing is you gave us the opportunity to be successful. As I mentioned, not just great coaches, you were true role models. Always looked up to both of you. But even better, you're better people. So I'm forever grateful to both of you for everything that you did. My assistant coaches, kind of the role as an assistant coach is support. And, you know, that support role, it's kind of like a therapist or a counselor. Boy, did I need a lot of therapy. So to Coach Ken Ekus, and really Coach Steve Walsh and Jerry Conroy, who my junior and senior year, that was their first year, and that was Coach Fenner's first year playing. But I do thank them for all the support they gave me, but also really I would say putting up with me. I was the type of player, I don't want to get into telling too much of a story, but this is what they had to deal with. I like to shoot the basketball, as I said, a lot, and it wasn't too often common. You know, I kind of missed a couple shots, handful of shots in a row, and they'd come up to me and say, "What are you thinking?" And I was like, "What do you mean what am I thinking? I'm thinking the next one's going in." But then I proceeded to miss quite a few. But that was the type of individual, unfortunately, that they had to deal with. So I do thank them for all that support over the years at that time. I don't want to overlook my middle school coach, Dave Cessna, and also my freshman coach, the late George Simstead, and his assistant, Johnny Dankovich. Why I want to overlook that, it happens too often at the middle school level. If you don't have a great foundation in place and have that initial experience, it could be detrimental to your program. I was very fortunate to have such a great start to my own career. I thank those individuals. My baseball coaches, Coach Capola, Coach Rourke, we unfortunately, we know they're no longer with us. They're legends, outstanding people, and you know, most of my conversations that probably should have been about baseball with those guys, I typically would be talking about basketball and golf. And so it probably would have been better if I kind of had more conversations about baseball with my baseball coaches. So thank all of you, all my coaches. I'm forever grateful for having the privilege to play for all of you. My teammates, I got to see so many of you tonight. Football team is going in with the senior class. Haven't seen many of those guys since high school. I would say best football team there was at Pitch. So congratulations to you guys. But from a teammate standpoint, I would say not only are you great teammates, you're great friends. You always pushed each other, you supported each other, and really with a common goal for the collective group to get better. So I thank all of my teammates over the years. Thank you for the memories that we got to enjoy and all the success. So in closing, everyone wanted to hear that part, right? We're getting close. This school, this community, really helped shape me to the person that I am today. And for that, I'm forever grateful. I want to thank everyone here this evening. Such a great night. Very privileged to have my family with me. My wife Sharon, class of '88, 2 daughters, Ann and Leah. My father's with me, and my sister, Diane, class of '82. So thanks again to the Hall of Fame committee. This is just a wonderful evening, incredible honor. And congratulations to all the other inductees. Extremely well deserved. Best of luck to all the current and future bonus. Thank you.
Our next inductee, Wally Hurley, football, class of 1994. Those who know Wally describe him as respectful and compassionate. He was a great football player who loved his teammates, and as a coach, considerate and caring for all, whether he was a starting quarterback or the third string safety. The Falcons were really good when Wally was among the team leaders, going deep into the playoffs, earning several conference and individual recognitions. It was then up to Bucknell University, where Wally earned the rank of team captain while fighting off injuries during a school record-setting victory season. He later coached at Fish and helped Coach Phil Annarella rebuild the Falcon football program to a level of success that fans and players enjoy and expect to this day. Today, Wally is defensive coordinator at Canfield High School and is supported by wife Marie and 3 children. Let's now induct Falcon great Wally Hurley into the Fish High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you. I'm going to try and not be emotional or too emotional. I was not expecting the Fish band to play. When they played, they got my heart pumping and it brought me back to when I was a child, going to my first games, my first Fish games. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for having me here tonight and for all of the activities last night. I wasn't there, but my wife and kids were, and they said it was a great experience. I'd like to also especially congratulate the '86 football team. You guys were the team that made me fall in love with Fish football. I'd also like to thank all of my immediate family, my parents, my siblings, as well as my aunts, uncles, and cousins, who have always been supportive to me throughout my career and still to this day. Many of them are here tonight. Another reason I'm on the verge of getting emotional is I came in today and all the guys I coached with at Canfield are here, and I was not expecting that. And made my day, made my night, and some other coworkers and just great people. And I know my grandparents and aunt and some uncles are smiling down from heaven tonight. My earliest memory of football left a big impression on me, and I knew it was important, probably because it activated my fight or flight mechanism. You see, I was probably 5 years old. It was a Sunday afternoon in the fall. I was playing in my room, and I heard a boom, and I felt the whole house shake, and I heard yelling. And I thought something in the house. So I come running out of my room, and it's just my dad in the living room during a Browns Steelers game, and he's pounding the floor and swearing at some quarterback named Terry Bradshaw. I didn't know much about him, but I knew Terry Bradshaw was not a good guy. Around these same years, my dad would entertain himself and any guests he had over for Browns games. During commercials and halftime, he would have me run a football. I'd hold a football with 2 hands and run from the kitchen through the living room to the hallway. And I had to pick my knees up high and run. And he would fire these couch pillows at my feet and try to take my legs out from underneath me. And I had to run the ball. But before you think that's child abuse, he let me wear this cheap plastic decorated Cleveland Browns on it, so I was fine. But I knew how important football was, and even though I started fumble drills early, unfortunately I did have a couple fumbles in my varsity year, so I'm not too proud about that, but it happened. My first memories of Fish football, I remember parking in the grass fields by Frank Bowl, and my dad and I walking towards the stadium for the 7:30 kickoff, and seeing the stadium, seeing the lights on off in the distance, and hearing the Fish band, hearing the drums. It just filled me with excitement and anticipation. It just got my juices flowing. And then once I was in the stands, coming from a patriotic family, seeing Fitch's colors be red, white, and blue, seeing our giant, booming military-style band, just added to my love for the program and the school even more. And then it was 5th grade. 5th grade, I remember being in the stands, soaking wet, at the end of the game, when Leo Hawkins scored the winning touchdown against Massillon. He actually scored, it was 10-0, he actually scored 2 touchdowns in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game to steal the game away from Massillon. It was awesome. I was also in the stands for many other exciting victories that year. From that point on, I looked up at Fitch football players the way most kids look up to NFL players. That's all I wanted to do was play football for Fitch. And when I did, it was some of the greatest memories of my life. At Bucknell, I was part of a team that won the first conference championship in 30-some years, and we set a school record for the most wins in a season. And those were great memories, and I wouldn't want to take those away. But there's just something special about playing for the high school you grew up rooting for. The same high school that your parents and a bunch of aunts and uncles and other family members went to. And you're doing it with your buddies that you grew up with and you've known since elementary school. And it's those buddies that became my teammates that I'm forever grateful for, along with my coaches. And before I talk about them though, I just want to thank my parents. My dad, he impressed upon me early on that you give your best in anything you do, whether it's school, it's sports, whatever it may be, you do your best. So, and it's very challenging every football practice to try and be first and win every rep and every drill and every sprint. But he said that's the only way to do it, and I always do my best to live up to that expectation. My mom, who provided toughness, helped develop my toughness in her own unique ways, but also provided tenderness when I needed it. And no matter how many people were in the stands on Friday night, I could still somehow hear her voice cheering me on. As for my coaches, I feel the foundation of toughness at Fitch football started for many in middle school with Chris Flotto. I know he's already a Hall of Fame coach, but I was blessed to have him coach me in 8th and 9th grades. Then Dave Hartman, the legendary head football coach. He was also my position coach. He was a stickler for detail. He left no stone unturned in our preparation for our opponents. Jack Denny was our defensive coordinator. He's charismatic. He would have us taking the field. His pregame speeches would have us taking the field believing we could beat any team in the nation. My other position coaches, Adam Kimmel, Paul Soltis, were tremendous. And then there's Joe Brooks, who saw something in me early on and always looked out for me. He's looked out for me ever since. And finally, my teammates. My teammates were a selfless bunch that always put the team first. They didn't care about who got the credit, they just wanted to win. So many of them could be up here tonight instead of me. I just happen to be the lucky one that played positions on both sides of the ball whose stats got put in the newspapers. And partly I've got to thank Bob Gugliotti for the stats. Thank you, Bob. But without those teammates and coaches, I would have accomplished nothing. And the special memories we created would not exist. I'll forever be grateful for them. Making history as Falcons together. My love for them and Fitch football will never end. Thank you for listening to me. God bless and go Falcons.
Our next inductee, Caitlin Opashin Schierenberger, volleyball, class of 2007. Being a 14-year-old freshman on the disciplined and determined Coach Tom Case girls varsity championship volleyball teams must have been a daunting and even frightening challenge. Yet Caitlin Opashin was up to it. She not only made the 2003 championship team, but started first team. And in the regional finals match, she served the game-clinching points that sent the team to the state tournament's Final Four. After that, she earned her position as a team leader and was part of many personal and team recognitions and success. Her work ethic and talent earned Caitlin a full scholarship at Division I Akron University, where she achieved success as a student athlete. She credits her parents and Austintown schools for her development as a player, educator, and coach. She also credits her best friend and husband, Dan, for simply being who he is, and also their 4 children, the lights of her life. Let's now induct Caitlin into the Fish High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Good evening. I would like to first thank Mr. Brooks for nominating me and to the Hall of Fame Committee for recognizing my individual accomplishments. I would like to congratulate all of the other inductees tonight, especially fellow volleyball alum Rachel Shrizak and Katie May. Next, I would like to thank my coaches. First, Mr. Pease, for training me during my 8th grade club season, and then giving me the opportunity to start varsity as a freshman on the very successful 2003 Hall of Fame State Final Four team. It was you believing in me and giving me an opportunity at an early age that led to my success and leadership during the remainder of my high school career. I would also like to thank my senior volleyball coaches, Katie and Stacey May. I always look up to both of you as volleyball players, and I will be forever grateful for the positive season. I was going to get emotional. For the positive season that you gave me during my senior year. I'd like to thank my club coach, who then turned into my college coach, Mike Spicer, for giving me the opportunity to play at the University of Akron. And lastly, I would like to thank my favorite coach and fellow Hall of Fame, my sister, Kurt Detora. I'm going to take this long. If it was not for you, I may have never touched a volleyball. You've always been my biggest role model, and in many ways, my head coach. You continue to support me daily, and I love and appreciate you. Next, I'd like to thank my brother-in-law, Mike Totoro, for spending long weekends taking me to various club tournaments across the country, and always cheering me on. My niece Cece, my nephew Henry, and my aunt Jody for being here tonight. For all the love and support over there, over my whole life. And finally, I would like to thank my husband, Dan. Dan, thank you for entertaining me in your younger years as my teammate in various rec volleyball leagues, but more importantly, I appreciate you for being my life teammate as we work together daily to raise our 4 children. And now, for those of us who know us well, we will not be having a good child so that we can have our own basketball team. Lastly, I'd like to thank my biggest fans, my parents, Jeff and Nancy Opashin. I've always appreciated all the love and support that you've given me in all aspects of my life. But I did not realize until I had my own children how much you personally sacrificed with your time, finances, and probably a little bit, or maybe a lot of your sanity, to allow me to excel and play a sport that I truly loved. With that being said, I promise to give my children, Johnny, Taylor, Grayson, and Carter, the same love and support and sacrifice that you gave me in whatever sport or activity they pursue. To end my speech, I would like to give some advice to my children that was given to me at a young age. Everyone puts their stand-ups on one leg at a time. Although this reference is to volleyball, I have applied it to all areas of my life. Everyone is the same, and on any night, through your hard work, positive attitude, and determination, you can be successful. And although there's a lot more that I can say about my volleyball career, one, I'm crying, and two, I know everyone appreciates the short speech, so don't worry, I will just go home and be telling these stories to you. Thank you.
By the way, that's husband Dan with the other now. Next, we will induct John Densevich, track and field, class of 1993. John is described as a good and polite high schooler who loved track and field. He also participated in football for 2 years, 1 year with basketball team, and achieved membership into the National Honor Society for doing all those sports. Shot put and discus were his key events, and he became a 4-time qualifier and runner-up at the state championship meet. He went on to excel academically and athletically at Kent State University. He, his wife, and 2 children reside in nearby Stowe, where he is a bank executive and is the throw coach for the local high school. Lucky them. Let's now induct John into the Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
So first off, I would like to thank the Hall of Fame committee and congratulate my fellow inductees this year into the Hall of Fame. When you look back on high school, it's just amazing. I left high school not really thinking too much about whether I had success or whether I didn't. Didn't hit any of the goals that I wanted to hit. Didn't do the things that I wanted to do, and never really considered myself good enough really to be in the Hall of Fame. Recently, over the last 2 years, I started coaching because my kids were into throwing the shot put business. And just going back and looking at what I was able to accomplish, and what we were able to do as a team, and what my teammates were able to do, and how good they actually were, it kind of changed my eyes as far as how I look back on my high school career. First off, I'd like to thank my wife, just because, I didn't know her at the time when I was in high school, but she has supported me ever since. So we met at Kent, she was an athlete there, and she has absolutely been the love of my life ever since. So, thank you. I'd like to thank my kids for reigniting the love for the sport of track and field. Like I said, I love the sport for the better part of 25 years. And just recently having get back into it and being able to help kids that were in the position that I was in at Fitch has been absolutely fantastic. One of my best moments is last year. My daughter was able to qualify for the state meet in the same circle that I did 31 years ago. So it really meant a lot to me. I'd like to thank my mom for always being there and supporting me. Went through some tough times in high school. Had a serious knee injury, wasn't able to do a whole lot for myself, and my mom was absolutely the one that took care of me. And so thank you. My sister Patty, who a lot of you that were teachers at Fitch remember, she was a valedictorian at Fitch. She was successful in everything she did here. Member of the band, national debate qualifier, varsity letter winner, did track and field. and just a role model for me when it came to looking how not only to do things, but to do them right. For anybody that knows Ray Victor, his daughter is in the Hall of Fame as one of the best throwers that's ever come through pitch. But Ray took me under his wing, taught me how to lift, taught me how to get bigger, stronger, faster. And without Ray's guidance, I wouldn't have been as successful as I was. I'd like to thank my teammates. When you're a 130-pound freshman coming in, having people like Chaka Wallace, Julie Victor, Pete Husky, just treat you well. They treat you as a teammate, as somebody that they care about, did wonders for my confidence. And then my teammates that were more my age, Eddie Callagher, Ron Losowitz, Jody Rome, who all have made statements and done great things. One of the things that, I kind of look back on is how I actually was introduced to the sport of track and field and throwing, most notably the discus. So my dad was a track and field coach at South Ranch. He stopped being a coach and athletic director when we got old enough to start competing so that he could come and watch and support us. One day my dad brought home a discus, and as a 13-year-old kid trying to find his way, just taking it out in the street, throwing it around, it was something that probably you look at and say, that's not a big deal, but to me it was life-changing. Being able to go out there, he would work with me, kind of taught me the basics, helped me to get good enough that one day I accidentally smashed the neighbor's mailbox with a discus, and then he took me up to pitch and the throwing coach. So those of you that have been involved in track and field and fished, know Ed Wilson. Unfortunately, we lost Ed this year. Coach was one of the most influential people in my life. He was somebody that took the time, he took the effort, he showed me he cared, and gave me the confidence to do the things I was able to accomplish. It's one of those things where if you take something away from this, if you have a coach that has made a difference in your life, reach out to them. Make sure that you tell them how you feel and the difference that they've made in your life. Eventually it becomes too late. So it's definitely one of those things that, just want to say thank you to Coach and what he meant for me. The other thing I kind of look at and say, what does it mean to be a Falcon? To me, it means perseverance, work ethic, and toughness. I got knocked down quite a few times in my career fish. I blew out my knees as a sophomore, had to have 2 knee surgeries, rehab those, all while trying to get better and compete against people that were literally twice my size. And was able to do some pretty good things. My senior year, I was ranked 2nd in the state. I didn't lose a single meet all year in the shot. Went to state and had the worst meet I had all year. At the end of that meet, I decided I was done. I wasn't throwing anymore. I was gonna just they'll do something else. My dad, once again, picked me up, taught me the same thing that we all need to know, is you're gonna get knocked down, but you get back up. Got a call from a coach at Kent, and was able to do great things when I was there. So, without people like my dad, and without Ed Wilson, I definitely wouldn't be standing here in front of you today. And, just want to say thank you. So, thank you. I appreciate your time today listening to me. And, thank you.
John was definitely a great shot putter, and when he said he was a 130-pound freshman, I remember Billy Price. I'm sure a lot of you remember him. He was a freshman. I think he weighed 230 pounds. They were really on the same equipment, but great story from John, and congratulations to him. Our next inductee, Bob Bugliotti, contributor, Fish class of 1978. I remember attending a Fish basketball game many years ago, and it was a varsity game. When it got underway, I noticed that he was the announcer. And I'll tell you what, he did everything. He had to announce the game. He had to keep all the statistics. He had to put up with the 50-50 drawings. The coaches and the referees, they were all yelling at him at the same time. And then I found out last night, a couple of times back in the day, when we used to play the sets for the national anthem, and then later when we had troubles with computers, he'd stand up and sing the national anthem. This guy did everything but drive the team bus. He's better known as Goose to all of us in Austin Town. And I also learned that he's very passionate about pitch athletics. He has supported the athletic program at every level for nearly a half a century. And one of his strongest contributions is the commitment and preservation of Fitch sports history. His incredible work benefits the school district and this entire community for many years to come. And during high school years, Goose was also part of the historic Fish baseball team that reached the state semifinals in 1977 and 1978. Today, he is the voice of the girls softball team, the two-time state championship softball team, and he is one of their biggest fans and supporters. Let's now induct Bob into the Fish High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody out here for the confidence and strength and the fortitude and the encouragement and support you provided me through these many years. It is much appreciated. My gratitude can go as far as the universe. As you will also find out, you get to, as opposed to last night, you get the John Lennon-esque version of me tonight. Hope that meets with your approval. As far as where I will begin with this, first of all, the first non-athlete to be up here to represent this part of this induction class in 2024. I'm also still very active in the athletic program here, something that I really cherish doing, because it's a passion and a labor of love that has gone on for, as I said, 49 and a half years. And as far as very humble, very compassionate person, however, very determined, and kind of give off that steely look sometimes that you don't want to face. But anyway, I represent the largest graduating class ever at Austin Town Fish High School, class of 1978, known as the Lacko Patrol class, where we were part of when the school had its largest enrollment ever, which was 8 shy of 3,000 in our junior year. And we actually lost 144 kids from the end of our freshman year until when we graduated on June 4th, 1978. So you know that Black Friday and plant closings and some transfers had something to do with that. And we were also probably the only high school at the time that had no vacancy signs because we ran out of lockers in our junior year. And it became a point where if you were sharing with someone, someone had to use the bottom and open the door so that you could use the top. It's probably the only time it's ever happened, and we've been leveling off ever since. However, it's fascinating how things evolve. We use often the expression, once a Falcon, always a Falcon. Now, you know me as a writer, a blogger, and a reporter, and all the duties that I had over the years. I tend to be a little redundant. And when that statement is used, I actually add something to it. And it's probably redundant, but anyway, mine is once a Falcon, still a Falcon, always a Falcon, because it evolves from the time you're a young child all the way through your high school career, and then as a postgraduate and as alumnus. So I hope to carry that off as one of my themes tonight. And I will also express to you, it was always, for everybody that's been inducted since 2008, and I was part of the committee then that chose that blockbuster class. And then I went off the committee, and there are stories behind that that you can always ask you about on the side. Anyway, in terms of what I was going to say is, it's all about you. It's all about the student athletes. It was always about you. It was never about me. Yeah, I might have had a byline in the newspaper, or I might have had a broadcasting credit, or whatever it was. But it was always all about you, because I was the kid in the candy store. And that's one of my themes tonight that I'm going to use, that you'll hear before I'm done with the soliloquy. And again, you'll understand why my graduating class with tobacco control after my soliloquy is over. You'll totally understand. I'd like to start off with multitasking, and when you gain that, you mentioned about Lenny Gessler. Lenny Gessler was my co-mentor as an inductee going through this process and leading up to this weekend and tonight. And I just spoke to Lenny Gessler on Sunday, July 7th at 10:30 at night. And we basically had crossed the T's and dotted the I's, and we were ready to go. And I know the last mention that I had in my conversation with him was, I'm looking forward to seeing you at national ceremonies on Saturday, August 24th. He was, of course, as cordial and as friendly and as confident and as generous as he always was. And from knowing him for 26 years, both as a working colleague and as someone that was genuinely a friend of mine, I miss you. Great, and I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around it. In terms of what's going on right now, as you probably noticed, I'm wearing 2 gold medals. The girls softball program has been on the rise, the culture has been growing, momentum has been building, and 3P is on the horizon for the 2025 spring season. I know Cindy Watts, who's a standout generational talent, is gunning for that, and she was gunning for 4. Unfortunately, we kind of messed it up in the regional final in 2022. But since then, it has been a growing process. Those girls go out and have an immense amount of fun, but I also know they put the time in the weight room and in practice, preparation. They're always ready to face whatever opponent is coming at them. And of course, they've had a target on their back for the last 4 years since I came back to the program. The new softball complex came up. And the first step with that was to be inducted into the Diamond Legacy Club, which the softball program sponsors. That's for people who've had a long time affiliation with the program, and I have actually a total of 14 years with the program. And one of my fellow inductees that day on March 27th, 2021 is being inducted tonight, going to get Gifford Penn, who was also a generational talent and almost got us to the state championship at Ashland Community Park in June of 1993. He did a great job of getting us to the regionals in 1994 and 95 in the junior and senior year. I know Wendy's family's had a tough time here recently, as my fellow connection with this induction class, Carlos Kennedy, and his family as well. I wish all the blessings to your families, and you will move on and be able to cope with what has been going on. Next, I have to attribute this to my Aunt Carmel, who lives in San Marcos, California, but formerly lived in Struthers and Austintown. She and her late husband, my Uncle Bob, were great friends of longtime baseball coach and Hall of Famer Rich Capola and his wife Carol. My aunt shared with me about 7 months ago that before he passed away 2 years ago, Rich Capola mentioned that he would not have been the coach that he became in 28 seasons, won every conference championship, won several, 13 of them, and led 4 teams to state, in which I was actually part of 3, the 2 of my junior and senior year at high school, and also in 1994, and in 1983 when his team almost won the state championship. I was right outside of his dugout in the stands. On behalf of everyone here, I just want to share a couple of things for you. My Minister Peregrine Falcon told me in my archive files to say something for the team that's being honored tonight. So I'm probably the only person that has a copy of the superintendent's report, the computer rankings, and the team picture that is emulated on the superintendent's report for the 1986 football team, which exceeded all odds in going 11-2, winning conference championship, winning a regional championship. And I have 2 more things here before I leave you. Before technology, before we had our smartphones, solar calculators were the order of the day. And I have held on to this for 32 years, and it has a quote in it from somebody you probably know very well. The quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence, regardless of their chosen field of endeavor. Pro Football Hall of Fame coach Vince Lombardi. And, oh, by the way, there's a picture in here that is of a inductee that has already presented himself tonight. And he stands as a great role model of what a student athlete should be, particularly if there's Falcon one, but any football player or student athlete should be. And again, it is Walter Berkeley Jr. And this is from your junior year when I was still writing for the Austintown Media. And I held on to this picture and that quote. And when I need inspiration and motivation, it's what I dwell myself on at my roll-top desk at home. And lastly, on Saturday, August 24th, 1957, on a similar day to today, 86 degrees and sweltering, a summer day in Plastic, Joan, Joni, or Joanne Ashjack, my mom, married Joseph Guy Galati Sr. at a ceremony up on the hill on Robinson Road in Tampa, St. Michael's Visiting Catholic Orthodox Church. And so the Dukes Family Fund just began there and lasted for almost 56 years. And on this day, I salute my parents for preparing me for the pretty world that I was going to be subjected to, and for allowing me to be their caregiver and their power of attorney, and all the roles that I served at home as well with them as they garnered on. They've been gone for quite a while, but today I salute them on their 67th heavenly wedding anniversary. Congratulations for 2008 now. Thank you, community, for making my day a weekend.
Our next thing about being the 1986 Fish football team, which you've heard a lot about so far tonight. They were the Steel Valley Conference and Regional State Champions. And Coach Hartman and Eric Buckage, if you could start bringing the team forward, we'd appreciate it. And line up over here. They start coming forward. But I tried to do a little research on this team over this past week, and I was able to find a YouTube, of course, from 1986. And it was the game played at the Akron Rubber Bowl. It was their regional state final. When these guys came on, Ken McKinley, and I have to be perfectly honest with you, it was probably one of the best high school football games I've seen in my entire life. It was incredible, as John referred to earlier, about perseverance, work ethic, and toughness. These men, young men back in those days, they exhibited that. And they had a great coach, of course, Dave Hartman. Coach Hartman was inducted into this Hall of Fame back in 2011. And Coach Hartman has always showed up. Several of his teams have always been indicted. He shows up all the time here to support his teams, and he had major success. He really turned the football program around back in his day, and they did a wonderful job. But that game against McKinley, Eric Luckage, Eric is here somewhere. Right here. Eric was the quarterback at that time, number 30, and it was tough. It was old film, and the audio was running about 30 seconds behind the film itself. But Eric took off for a game-winning touchdown for a 28-24 victory over the McKinley Bulldogs in Stark County, or Summit County, back at that time, 1986. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we induct the 1986 football team into the school's Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you much, Tom. And first, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for inducting this fabulous football team into the Hall of Fame this year. And I'd like to congratulate, on behalf of the coaches and players up here, congratulate the other inductees this evening. I'd like to, first of all, before I get into some comments, I'd like to introduce these guys to you so you know who I'm talking about. So to start off, and fellas, just like last night, when you hear your name called, step forward, give them a wave, let them know what you look like nowadays. Which some are not surprising, and some I really had to rack my brain. Who was that? Remember this guy? He's an imposter. First of all, with the coaching staff, a few of the guys had some prior commitments and couldn't make it tonight. But I will say that we were very fortunate. This team had a lot of accolades, made several notable accomplishments. But I was very fortunate to have a hardworking and just a tremendous assistant group. And we really enjoyed, we really loved what we were doing. It was a labor of love. We really enjoyed coaching these kids. They're great kids. They were great kids. They're not great kids. They're great young men now. Great family men in many cases. But the coaches that work with me, I can't say enough about their dedication. So I'll read all the names, like I said, even though some of them aren't here tonight. Assistant coaches, starting with Coach Jack Kenny. Mike Audie, Jeff Zatchuk, Tom Cornicelli, Sean Dockery. And now the players that made up the team again. I'm aware not all of them are here tonight, but quite a few made it for the ceremonies this evening, and some of them as far away as Texas and California, North Carolina came in. Just goes to show you how much being a part of the football team, how much being a part of this ceremony this evening meant to them. So these are in no particular order. This is the list that Vogue gave me, so that's what I'm reading off of. So we'll start with Don Jones. Rich Morrow. Red Smith. Chris Burnett. Ted Serrato. Dan Serrato. Leo Hawkins. Damian Phillip. Ron Strollo. Joe Dolak. Mike Starry. John Kowalczyk. Eric McMahon. Scott Lawrence. Devin Fitzpatrick. Ken Carano. Dave Cooper. Bill Davis. Doug Wilhelm. John Lorenzo. Rich Radius. Rich Costello. Dave Swarm. Tom Gauthier. Joe Supko. Kevin Bogish. Darren Fesco. Eric Luggage. Keith Lauder. Bob Feronius. John Heckathorn. Todd Cannon. Frank Rich. Dan Black. Tom Bartfly. Rich Turner. Steve Iacobucci. John Rogers. Mike Jones. Okay, that's on my list. Anybody get left off the list? Everybody? Yeah, okay. Want to be thorough. Play. Good job. You know, it's been 38 years, I can't believe 38 years in West has played, you know, that fantastic season. It's just amazing. These kids, these guys deserve that honor. They achieved what they were kids. This football team was a pleasure to coach. They were obviously hardworking, dedicated. They were so much fun to coach. They really played together as a team. These guys are typical of the Fish team that I coached. I was fortunate enough to coach when I was here. Great kids from great families, from a great community. And I really am thankful that I got the opportunity to spend 12 of the best years of my life as a head coach here. You know, it's so many memories, even at my age. I do have some memories of this team. I do remember, as a coaching staff, thinking of, as has been stated before, these guys, you know, some of them, as I told them last night, God, I wish you were that big back when you were yeah, I didn't even only have 7 guys on the team that weighed 200 pounds or more. I'm talking about the whole team, 7 guys. And the schedule that we played, we felt it was very important to get off to a good start. These guys were believing, but seeing is believing. You know, we can tell them what you want, but if they go out there and play, do what you're supposed to do, and they find success, you don't really believe. And these guys believe. And we went out and knocked off, Mentor, you know, biggest school in the state of Ohio at the time. I don't know about now, but Mentor was the first victory, and we knocked out Cheney, went down the line, and so we're doing real well. And had a big test at Boardman. That was a heck of a football game. We were up against it. We scored 7 points. Our defense came to play that night and shut out Boardman. And we had things rolling, and then the national game. And Raleigh kind of stole my thunder. Well, I guess great minds work together. I love it. You know, we were down fourth quarter, 6 minutes to go, and we had a play. You know that we were got to carry that night. It was rainstorm. That monsoon was all too young. Okay, but I mean, it was pouring down. It was a monsoon. The field, you know, we weren't fortunate enough to be playing on the beautiful field they had for now. It was a quagmire. It was nothing but mud. I mean, it was terrible. Nobody could do anything. Except Massillon did enough to score 10 points. 10 points. 6 minutes ago, we're down 10-0. I need a glass of water. Thank you. Appreciate it. So we had a play that we had practiced all week. Of course, we hadn't practiced with the idea that we were going to be calling it in a monsoon. So we were in a 6 minutes ago in the game, and we had to play waggle with back out of the backfield because they were playing too deep. So we split our tight end one way, split in the other way, opened up the middle of the field, back out the backfield, hit it for a touchdown. Okay. Leo, volley already, Leo Hawkins, out of the backfield. So we got 7 points. We stopped them, we get the ball back. I don't know if this succession had to be, but only 6 minutes to go. We called it again, and by the way, the reason that we felt it might work, the rain actually subsided a little bit. You know, it kind of cleared up a little bit. So, you know, we're talking about, you know, you can do this, you know, it's drier than it was. At least it's not pouring down now. This was a play that we had planned to use against them. We thought we could use it. And once again, we set Leo down the middle. He caught it, got down in scoring position. Well, he said he dove in at the end. It was 6 seconds ago, and we won the game. That was a big one. So that was maybe Sean was saying Doctor was saying he might have thought that was really the turning point in our season. But we continued on, and obviously, you know, down at Camp McKinley, we played a good football game. Camp McKinley down there, so they beat us first loss of the season. They came back and beat us, and so we're undefeated Steel Valley champs, which is great accomplishment. And the first team in Fitch history to make the playoffs, which was fantastic. Kids deserve every bit of it. Got Walsh in the first game, knocked them off, and we get a rematch with the kid. Most of you are not aware of what happened there. Back in the fourth game, fourth quarter, we're down again. We come back to win 28-24. Down to local. Must have been 25,000-30,000 fans. Great win, great victory, and these kids really, nobody expected us to do what we did, but these kids did. They expected it. We expected it as coaches. They expected it as a player because they had it in here. That's what they heart and desire, and 48 minutes with no regrets. Total effort, never stop. Win or lose, that's all we ask them to do. Play your best, give us your best effort, That's all you can ask to do. All you can ask anybody, give your best. And that's all we asked them to do, and they did. And the results are there. Yeah, we got knocked off by a fantastically strong, St. Ed's team, but we won the regional championship. We were one game away from playing for state championship, so I just am so proud of this football team. And I think this is an honor that has been long. But finally, they are members of the Fish Athletic Hall of Fame. And I salute them and hope you will join me in congratulating them once again. Yeah. I don't know if they can make you laugh. I know I could. I used to run with these guys, I used to run around here. So I guess Eric Luggage is going to come up here and take the podium for a while, so
Good evening, everyone. Need some help here. Believe it. Do it. That's it. Well, I only have 3 minutes, so I gotta go quick, and there's no way I'm gonna hit everybody that I want to hit today. It's a great group of guys, so I'm gonna miss some folks, I think, but forgive me in the interest of time. Wally, appreciate those words, but as a group, they inspired you, they inspired me too. Many thanks to Coach Harden, amazing coach, great game planner, and certainly on the Fish football non-Rushmore coaches, I'd say. So thank you for that. On behalf of my teammates, thank you to all the coaches. They were in our first class human beings, so the timekeeper. Okay. All our coaches, first class human beings, they led us, taught us how to win, and we really appreciate that. Your game plans gave us a leg up every week. And thank you for indulging our belief that we were unbeatable when our roster probably suggested otherwise. I recall the junior year asking Coach Harden if he could schedule more, St. Ignatius, and any other of those powerhouses that we could beat to show that we could beat anybody that they put in front of us. We would really believe it. He looked at me like I just visited a dispensary before it was over. And so that was something I think he thought we had in us, but we should. Coach played at Massillon under Earl Bruce, and I always wondered what he thought when we beat Massillon in that crazy hurricane mud pit of a game. And there was a Massillon journalist that I found online that wrote, and I quote, "What happened was the greatest win in Fish football history, all things considered, and one of the bitterest Massillon defeats." So I'm glad we did that. And just one quick Coach Harden story. I think Rich alluded to this earlier here. There was maybe a time when Coach said, all of you who went to the AC/DC concert, please step forward. And I'm telling you, man, that was not good if you step forward. That was 500 burpees for that concert. So I don't think it wasn't enough. I don't think it was worth it for sure. But it taught us responsibility, focus, preparation, and accountability. And so it did all of that. All of you coaches showed us how to be good people, and we thank you. As for my teammates, we weren't expected to do too much. Coach mentioned some of those. I want to go through the schedule. Listen to all these state championships. Mentor, Cheney, Columbus Marion Franklin, Massillon, Mooney, Warren Western Reserve, Canton McKinley, Erskine. Lost one of those. We got the playoffs, so Welsh Jesuit, Canton McKinley. That was a good game. Watch it. And then St. Ed's, that wasn't such a good game. Don't watch that. But there was a lot there. We were small. We were really special statistically. People, I think, thought we maybe had 5 wins in us. We had on knee braces and taped ankles, every one of us. And I know that was not easy to hunt with all that on, and it wasn't easy to run. But this group was special. My teammates had an unwavering belief in themselves, a humble confidence, but I think others perceived it as an unjustified cockiness. But we played as a team and never thought we'd lose. And I don't think we did lose until that first game in Kenny Games class, 3.5 years before we lost. Last night, Coach Parker referred to us as ghosts in the locker room, which I thought that was kind of cool and kind of made us feel wanted. But we knew about the ghosts that came before us, and we felt we had to live up to that very high standard. And most importantly, and I can't stress this enough, we played for each other. Each one of these guys was there to win and there to not let down that guy standing next to him. And that is the secret to a great team. And we had that, and every one of these guys had it. Because we sure did not want to let down that guy next to us. And that was something special, and I talk to young people about that all the time. They were coachable, and they were determined. And it helped, most especially that we have Leo Hopkins running the ball like Earl Campbell down the field. And it was something special. And it helped that we have Tony Jones, heart and soul of that defense, man. He would rock your head bad. He was a tough dude. Ted and Dan Sorego, Chris Bernheim, absolutely badass at smacking people around. Hitting them in the mouth. Eric McMahon, Darren Fesco, Bill Davis, Bucky Rowland, Cooper, all holding down that line. Rich Morrow, intercepting balls, running 99 yards. He did that. The other way. YSU athletic director. Trained him on this team. Lonnie Stroller. We had a lineman that almost always were way smaller. Coach alluded that Billy Rowland, Devin Fitzpatrick, Jim Carson, Chris Bernheim, Damian Gillette, Mike Jones. They didn't back down. They all did their job. And they were coached well, and they plowed the fields for us. A host of other guys. Too many, they're all here. I can't mention all of them. They gave their all every day at practice to help this team win. And they sure did that. So the machine worked as designed. We were the first 15 to make the playoffs, and the first team, I believe, with 11 wins. And the only the 2013 team, I think, has 12 wins. So it was a great team for sure. These are some of the best people I've met in my life, and really good friends. I remember how we did one thing to show you how they were. One thing we did away with was there's a long tradition of in breaks during practice, you needed some water. Sophomores went to the end of the line. And this group did away with that. You were in line, the sophomores needed water, they got their water. I remember Tony Jones vividly dying coming off after he was cracking some people in the head. And he came off that field and was dying for water, and there were some sophomores there getting water, and he let them have it. And he waited. And so that was a real cultural turning. It told you something about these guys. They earned this recognition. I thank my teammates for teaching me about friendship, teamwork, love, and humble confidence. My siblings are here, so I'm going to say hi to them. Brother Rex is in twice, so that's pretty cool. Thank you, Coach Bogish and the committee for introducing my friends and teammates, inducting them in. We really appreciate this. It was a long time coming. We thank you for considering us. I know it means a lot to them, and thank you for that. Congratulations to all the other inductees. You earned it. We had great careers too. So thank you all. We're very happy for you. It was something to see going down the Youngstown State to play Uni. About 30 buses full of people going down there. 15,000 people. It was something that says something about all of you and the community that we came from. So thank you all.
Our next inductee, Rachel Terzak, volleyball, class of 2004. Rachel's story is a remarkable one. She took advantage of the many opportunities provided at Austintown Beach High School. She worked hard in the classroom and got results. It was then the practice fields and volleyball courts after school. Soon Rachel realized volleyball was her game. She earned 3 letters and many other achievements, including the United States Army Reserve Scholar Athletic Award Medal. After graduating, it was off to Westminster College, again excelling in athletics and academics. Yet Rachel has faced some tough challenges in recent years. She has used her faith, her family, and her friends to help her along the way. Let's now induct Rachel into the Fish High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
So we received a letter about what our speech was supposed to include tonight, and it very specifically said in bold writing that it would be 3 to 4 minutes long. But it also asked us to describe what Falcon Pride meant to us. And I don't know why, but I kind of thought about what did Falcon Pride mean to me then, and what does it mean to me now, as a young adult and as a grown adult. And I moved into the school district when I was 13. That's a really critical time in a young person's life and really shapes what their future will look like. When you're 13 years old, your world is very small. You have school and you have home. Sports gave me a place to belong, a place to channel energy. That was really critical for my personal development. And I thought about different words. A couple of the other inductees did say some of these words, but specifically discipline, order, and resilience. And as I thought about what those meant then, it was showing up to practice 15 minutes early. And knowing that if you ran, it was good for your heart. We knew that when we stepped on to the court, we were feared. That's what our teams were. The expectation was excellence for all of us. I was surrounded by some of the best athletes of the time. I was recently reminded that that was not by accident, it was by design. When we would go to play an opponent that we knew we were likely to beat, we would have full practice before the game. Athletics taught me resilience, and I wanted to look up the word, and it's defined as the ability to adapt and recover from difficult experiences. When I graduated after playing collegiately, I showed up to interviews early. Employers wanted to hire athletes. I stayed disciplined and used that to propel my career in the healthcare industry. And then in 2017, when my partner and I welcomed twins, The organization that I was taught from coaches came in handy when we were writing down how many ounces to what hour, to what feeding we were doing for these twin boys. In 2020, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer and underwent 5 surgeries and chemotherapy at the height of the COVID pandemic, and had to walk into the operating centers alone due to restrictions, resilience then again became a defining characteristic. Today, as I work with individuals that struggle with mental health and substance use disorder, I think of all of the adversity that we face as athletes. I want to thank my father, David Terzak, for helping me break generational curses, for the countless car rides, attendance at every game, support to push forward, and to know that this too shall pass. I am proud of the Junior Olympic Volleyball Club Thunder Volleyball that contributes to the growth of youth players in the area for the past 21 years. Thank you, Dad. To my best friend, Katie McDermott, for providing me a moral compass before I had one, because I was just a girl in the woods. To my coaches, there are so many coaches and teachers. I have a list, I know it's not all inclusive. Tom Case. It's no accident that many of us went on to play college sports. He taught us so much. All of those adjectives I used from the beginning, he prepared us for life through sports. Anne-Marie Martin, Mike Schweitzer, and his lovely wife Terry, Dave Ward, Ashley Case, Anne-Marie Martin. Fred Smith reminded me that he also coached me. It was like 20 years ago, so I do remember that now though. To the teachers, you hear a lot of stories up here about legacy. I wasn't a legacy. I was the first in my family to go to college. The teachers provided a safety that you can't replace. Mr. Bokic, for always believing in me. There were times when I was not the easiest teammate or student. Jonathan, for your patience and understanding that sometimes the old competitive Rachel still likes to make a visit. Thank you to the committee for this honor and for the past 2 teams that were inducted. To my fellow teammates, Katie Mang and Caitlin O'Passion, congratulations to you ladies as well. Thank you and enjoy the festivities.
Our next inductee is Mike Sacco, basketball, class of 1984. Those who know Mike say that a lot of his early success had to do with his parents. His head coach at Rich Bannon, describes Mike as one of the best team leaders and was responsible for the respect and admiration the players had for each other across the entire pitch basketball program. Mike and his Falcon teammates upended a long home winning streak held at Warren, and the following year they reached the district finals when Mike was team captain. Mike went on to graduate from Bowling Green State University, and today is a husband, father of 4 children, with a successful career in pharmaceuticals. Let's now induct Mike Sacco into the Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. I am coachable, so I'm gonna keep this under 3 minutes. So I do appreciate everyone tonight, congratulate everyone. The inductees in the 2024 class, especially Kent Hanrock and Mike Slovachka, great teammates along the way. Makes it extra special tonight to be inducted along with you. The Hall of Fame committee, I just want to say, I'm very humbled and appreciative to be selected for this. What a great presentation we had last night. Facilities are just outstanding here in Austin. I don't think people realize how lucky we are, or the community we have to have these types of facilities. Just especially, I hope they appreciate it. It's better than some small colleges out there. So, congratulations to the Austin Town community to be able to support the athletic department. A lot of this is impossible without my parents. But they're just #1 supporters in my career and in life. And I just really appreciate that. There's no stress growing up playing sports. There's always positive in our house. So thank you very much. The coaches along the way, you guys are fantastic. I had a great grade school coach at Frank Smith, a lot of fundamentals at St. Christine's. Coach Bowden, attended a lot of the camps here at Austin Town. Coach Bowden, Coach Fender, Coach Denneman, Coach Ekus, Coach Sinstead. You guys are the best. I mean, you nudged me to come here, and I'm very thankful for that. Coach Fender, we were very lucky to have you. I've watched my kids go through AAU basketball, different coaches throughout. You guys always have us prepared and just believed in us, and we believed in ourselves, and had some great victories along the way. So I just want to say thank you very much. A few more people. I never had older brothers, but Tom Pulaski, Steve Hanrock, I mean, you took it for us when we were kids. You guys are great. Your team in 1980, Mike Slovachka mentioned this earlier, that, you guys were our idols growing up. The best part of it is that we just wanted to do as good as you. So hopefully we made you proud. Thank you for coming back, always, working with us and making us better people and better men. The other thing is our teammates along the way. The teammates are great, and I'll never be here without them. Especially Kent, Hanrock, Brad Hicks, who should be in the Hall of Fame. Todd Garrett, Rod Amicone, Don Hyman, Steve Hansack, Lee Phillips. Joe Brooks gets an asterisk next to his name because he didn't play 1 year. Mike Slovachka, always one of my all-time favorites, split basketball. So they ask what welcome, pride means to us. To me, it's really my things. So they're all here tonight to support us. Over at this table here, there's a couple of tables over here. To my wife Kelly, my mom, college roommates, Jeff Purser, David Giacomo, Brad Hicks, Tony Sturdy, and William. Thank you very much. And last but not least, this is kind of our weapons. So my dad, he would have loved this tonight, probably more than me. So this toast your glass. If you have a glass, let's toast all the people that can't be here tonight. And this one's for my. So God bless you. Thank you very much.
Our next inductee, Wendy Gifford Henneman, softball, class of 1995. I'm hearing Wendy is entertaining, okay? That's what my sources are telling me. We had our crack committee research team check our records, and so far, there has only been one Hall of Fame inductee for girls softball, and that was in 2016 with Becky Bledson-Estemonger. Tonight, that will change as we celebrate the back-to-back state championships of our present-day Lady Falcons. Almost 30 years ago, Wendy was helping and leading the Falcon girls softball team to the regional finals in 1992, 1993, 1994, and 1995. And in 1993, they made it to the state championship game. After which, Wendy attended YSU and earned a degree in biochemistry. We often spend a lot of time talking about football and basketball, but it was girls like Wendy who helped pave the way for the girls' softball sensation that we have in Austintown today, and likely for many years to come. Let's now induct Wendy into the Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Mom,
Yeah.
thank you. You're amazing. Here you go. Love you.
A great member.
I'm gonna talk you through the lessons. So I'm not gonna look at this table because that's gonna make me cry, because these are my humans and I love them. Just know they're everything to me, and I'll leave it at that. So my softball story begins with a list of four girls from South Main Street. I was a t-ball player and a couple of coaches took me under their wing to show me how to windmill. It leads to a dad first on middle grade on our hot asphalt driveway, pitching every summer in the afternoon sun year after year. It has an elementary school principal and Jim Mordito, I hope he's still here. Are you here, Jim? Who would let me in the Woodside School after everybody would practice in the basketball teams and stuff like that, so let me continue to practice day after day. It's a business owner, Greg Greenwood, would let us in the back body shop. You probably don't want to know this if you have worked there. But we'd go back there and we would pitch. I broke many windows after it would shut down. In the middle of winter where we had nowhere to go. It's about mom packing extra lunches, keeping score, cruising the East Bay catalog. There used to be catalogs, kids, just so you know. We used to order those shirts online that said girl power and things like that. She had a purse full of bandages to repair skin knees, sliding in tissues for tears when we lost a big game. It's from my high school coach, Jerry Del Tempo, who pushed me the extra mile, refused to call me and forced me to stand up in the dugout, sobbing in defeat to shake the other team's hands as I mourned the loss of my high school career. It has a best friend and sister, Candace. That's you. Who allowed me to be something other than a softball player. They knew when it was time to tell me to get rid of my perm, and it was time to stop wearing sweatpants. My story has a best friend from middle school who has been a constant and stuck with me through its entirety by choice, but not by blood. That's Dana, I love you. Like many of our stories here, we started with naive teenage existence, and I didn't go quite how I thought that it would. It was finding my path and career, traveling the world a bit, falling in and out of love until I found a stroking husband. That's it. Also a blow-up coach at Youngstown State University if you have kids looking for somewhere to go. And planted some roots and we struggled to start a family. And after years of loss and heartbreak, we beat the odds and we're lucky to have two perfect kids. That's you guys. Oh, and Molly. And not long after Molly, we suffered heartbreak with the unexpected loss of my sister April. And in full circle motion, all those people from the beginning of my story were around us again to support us and continue to do so to this day. I stand here in gratitude for my story, which hasn't always been an easy one. And this story wasn't penned by me, it was penned by the Austintown community, the unconditional love of my parents, and the deep-rooted friendships that started right here in Falcon Land almost 5 decades ago. God, that was just me. My story isn't possible without opportunity, trust, sacrifice, love, forgiveness, and commitment, but not just by me, but by everybody around me. It's laid the groundwork for my resilience, tenacity, accountability, and drive, and the people in my story give me a voice to fight when I need to fight, and patience and compassion when I need to grieve and forgive. I appreciate each of you tonight for being a part of my story, not just for this weekend, but for long before and years before now. And my advice to all of you, at a time where it feels like we're all incredibly divided, especially myself, who has more opinions than she likes to admit, I hope that you remember that we all carry a pen with us, and we're offering stories every day of our life. And I hope that when you carry that pen with you, that you offer stories as great as mine has been so far. And I love you all. Thank you to the committee. Thank you. You're incredible. I love you. My family's here. I love you, Tabby.
Our next inductee, Tim Tatarka, cross country and track, class of 1998. Tim is remembered as a great student, a leader, and a fine young man from a great family. He also had the key characteristics of a great student athlete: dedication and determination. His years at Fish started on the fast track, a 4-year cross-country letterman, all conferences sophomore year, and made the trip to Columbus with his teammates at the state championships. His junior and senior years included a rerun trip back to Columbus and first team All-Ohio as a senior. He enjoyed similar success with track and later in college. Today, Tim's dedication to those sports continues as a sales executive in the run specialty business. Ladies and gentlemen, let's now induct Tim into the Fish High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you. I guess we'll start with saying thanks for getting my name right. Most people don't. But I'd like to start with just thanking the committee for the induction. To say I was ecstatic to receive this honor would absolutely be an understatement. Special thanks to my committee mentor, Mr. Ken Chekubek. Really kept me on track throughout the process. My wife, who's here, Danielle, 20 years, also a 98 Fish grad. Thanks for putting up with a lot. A lot for me, a lot with running. What else? She puts up a lot of stuff. Joel Hammond, thank you. Thank you for nominating me. I know you put in a lot of extra time and effort to do so. Thanks for all those extra runs, all those extra miles you put in. I've traveled all the way across town for 2 days just to pick Joel up, drive down hard to get in those second runs with extra miles. I think this is where I mentioned Tupac and Rage Against the Machine. Something about playing on music. I thank my parents. My parents never missed a meet. They were always there to support me. Me and my brother, I can't thank them enough for everything they had given me throughout the years. My brother Jason really taught me the importance of winning. I won't get into it, but asked me about the Steel Valley Conference meet junior year. You remember? I do. I'll talk about a few other things. First would be Coach Garcia. I really can't thank him enough. Coach was an incredible leader and motivator. What most people really don't know is freshman year, when I started, I was actually the slowest runner on the team. At some races, I was actually the last runner to finish. My first cross-country race I ever ran was at Acton Goodyear Park. I ran over 28 minutes for the 5K. Most of you in here could probably do that. To be honest, at that point, I hated running. I didn't even want to continue. On more than one occasion that first year, my exact words to Coach Garcia were, "Coach, I suck and I should probably quit." He was one of the only reasons that I didn't. He never stopped believing in me, encouraging me, motivating and pushing me. He never gave up on me. He would tell me all the time, "Trust me, listen, and you could be great." He never really said you could improve or you could be good, you could be decent, you could make varsity. He continually said you can be great. So I really started believing in myself. In my first cross country 5K, I was the slowest runner on the team. I finished in last place of the team. My last race, the state cross country meet, was my fastest by 7 seconds. An improvement by more than 12 minutes from that first race 4 years earlier. I was the 6th fastest runner in the state senior year, and I was sitting on the podium, first team All-Ohio. It's easier to believe in and hold the best that you have, but to do it with the worst, I think that takes something, a special kind of leader and coach. Without a doubt, Coach Garcia changed my life and many others. Again, I can't thank him enough. Second, my teammates, we had practice year-round. There weren't really any off days. We put in the miles, we pushed each other to be better individually and stronger as a team. I know I couldn't have reached my goals and achievements without all of them. All the hard work paid off and it showed race day. In my 4 years of fish cross country, as a team, we never lost the Suburban League meet. We never lost the Suburban League Championship meet. We never lost the Steel Valley Conference meet, and we never lost a moment. And that's not including any of the major championships that we've won along the way, a few a year. Finally, former fish runners, you set an unprecedented tone for Fish Falcon cross country pride. We heard stories of fish runners and teams from the 60s, 70s, and 80s all the time. The state titles, the individual awards, all the championship banners hanging in the gym. Putting on that singlet with fish across the chest was like a badge of honor. And the last thing I wanted to do was not pull it up to the standards set before me. There was so much pride and pressure when putting on that jersey, but I truly loved it. In closing, family support, coaching, teammates, and inspiring standards set before all had a profound impact and are the reasons I'm being recognized today. Thank you again for such an honor.
Our next inductee, Katie Mang Miller, volleyball, class of 2001. While Katie was growing up, competition was a key element of daily life in their household. There was sister Stacy and little brother John. You see, there were no video games or other distractions from academics and athletic effort at House Men. Mom Cindy was a good athlete, and let's just say Papa loved sports. Her time at Fish included one, if not the best, 4-year athletic runs in school history. She and her teammates served up 97 victories and were undefeated, 64-0 in the Steel Valley Conference. From there on to Kent State University, where she played volleyball. She walked on and worked hard and was awarded a scholarship during her sophomore year. That's because she never gave up, just like all these true Falcons. Finally, a brief message from her little brother. Katie was the ultimate leader, and there wasn't any secret sauce. She worked her tail off and showed her sister and me the way to success was through hard work and sweat equity. Let's now induct Katie into the Fish High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
We're in elementary school, we just started, this is not my wheelhouse.
house right now. I am usually in kindergarten classrooms teaching about feelings, so bear with me. Thank you for that introduction, and congratulations to all the inductees tonight. It is truly unbelievable to be recognized in this way this weekend. I had the honor and privilege of being inducted in 2012 with my 1999 team, and that memory is one I cherish. I was able to be here last year to support my sister, the 2005 volleyball team. The Hall of Fame weekend overall is amazing, and I want to thank everyone on the committee for all their hard work and dedication to this event and community. Mr. Okish, love that phone call when you called to give me the news. I love catching up with you. You caught me on a good day. My husband was mowing the grass. The kids were outside. I was able to talk to you, so all is well. Dan Schoenberger is a dear friend of mine. We grew up together. Thank you for everything. It's been great seeing you. Debbie Long, thank you for all the text messages and just support through the whole process. Mr. Brooks, thank you tonight, but thank you for the nomination. Other people that may or may not be in attendance, I want to give a shout out. Paul Lori Huntington, thank you so much for everything you did over the years. Coached me at school, you were basically at every game or event I was at, and you always picked me up to go to the Y, and that was a favorite memory. You kept volleyball really light for me, and that was a really fun time, so thank you for that. Mr. Dennis Jasinski, the Old Lake City, was my junior principal. I was his office aide for 2 years. He just gave me tough love, he told me how it was, we had good banter, and he still reaches out to me, so I appreciate you, Jazz. Mr. Harold Wilson, I know I saw him from last year, but he always wrote me nice notes and big, just remembering volleyball and always there for us. Overall, there's so many people I want to thank that are here tonight for my tables. My mom and dad, thank you so much for your support in all my activities and sports. You always made it work with us kids. Mom, thank you for always driving me to all my JO tournaments and being there and just volunteering and being my biggest cheerleader. And Dad, thank you for always being so patient. You're my dad. He was patient. But I still come home now, and if you're a referee or he's probably yelling at you on the phone, so his patience might have just dwindled over the years. At times, I feel like I'm a two-coach case. I would get home for practice and say, Coach Case, I slept today. He's like, what did you? And I just got nowhere with him, but Dad, I love you so much. To my siblings, Laura, Stacey, and Johnny, thank you so much for being here tonight. We have always supported and pushed each other, and I'm so glad we have shared our accomplishments together. My sister-in-law, Jolene, is here. Brendan, my brother-in-law. Ryan, my other brother-in-law. My husband, Aaron. 2 out of our 4 kids are here tonight. All of them alone. Thank you so much. My in-laws made the trip to support me all the way from Wapakoneta. They knew me in my college days. I'm always right there watching and supporting, watching me grow up as well. Not with us today, but my grandparents, and especially my grandpa Hackett. We were at any of our matches, you would remember him taking pictures, and we're always so excited to get them developed the next week to see our action shots. I know he's watching now, I'm so happy. I do want to circle back real quick and mention my in-laws were from Wapakoneta, and when Mr. Bokish called, I told my oldest son, I'm like, hey, Collins, run out, tell your dad it's official, your mom is officially the best athlete in the house. So, my husband is a very decorated athlete. We met at Kent Russell. He was 3rd in the state in high school. He went to NCAA, so our competitiveness is very unhealthy and just say a prayer for our kids. So he came in and we started talking, and I was talking to parents and my siblings and a couple of friends, and over the past the next couple of days, get me some calls, and I look at him and he's like, well, if Wapakoneta had a Hall of Fame, I would totally be in that now. So that's what I'm working with, so I love you so much. They don't have one. He's still talking about it tonight with his dad, like what he would do, so stay tuned. Volleyball is the ultimate team sport. Without your teammates, you simply will not succeed. So many memories flood back as I started reflecting about my volleyball days at Frank Bowl and Fitch. He was the thing who impacted me the most, and who supported me along the way. The answer is not short. Without a doubt, Coach Case, he didn't speak it, right? So I can just speak freely. Okay. You are the GOAT. They don't make coaches like you anymore. Your passion and dedication to the program was unmatched. I'm so thankful you started the middle school program when I entered 7th grade. Coach Ford tried to convince me daily to run cross country, as that was the only girls sport during the fall. I remember talking to my mom, and she nonchalantly said, "You should try volleyball. I used to play and I liked it." So just like that, my non-existent running career turned into a sport that has now defined me as a person. Coach Case instilled values and a work ethic that I have carried with me in my life and career. You will hear this speech after speech. There is time, on time, and Case time. I have been on Case time since I was 14 and have been ever since. You show up early, you work hard, and you do it right the first time. There are no cutting corners. 2 core memories come back as I was writing my speech, and one, I don't know if Kara remembers this, but it was our senior year, lifting was a big part of our program, and I think her and I were partners. And he was on one that day and just was counting our reps, and we missed one, which we didn't know, I promise. We just didn't miss them. So he sat us all down afterwards, and there was a chair that was broke. He kicked it across the gym. And I don't think another lift has been missed since in volleyball history. Another one was my senior night, and we played Ursuline, and back then we were expected to beat them. And I was messing around, and I don't think I was doing my best. They took me out on senior night. That's just crazy town. He sat me on the bench. I was so mad. He had some choice words for me, which I will keep teaching. And I was so mad at him. Like, how did you take me out of senior night? They put me back in, and I did fine, and that's just who he is. So he didn't care who you are. You had to do it right the first time. He expected your best all the time. We wouldn't be who we are without him and have all the successes. I would also like to thank his wife, Georgia Case. I know he sacrificed so much of his time to volleyball for being away from his family, so we love you so much too. To all my teammates and coaches along the way, the list really does go on and on. Ashley Case was a senior when I was a freshman. We all looked up to her. She was a true trailblazer of the sport at Fish. She was also a JO coach of my team my junior year, and one of my favorite memories was winning the Penn State tournament. I stand 5'9", I was usually the tallest one on the team, so when other teams looked at us, they just automatically thought, oh, you know, we're short, we're gonna beat them, but that never was the case. So that was a really fun memory. Rachel, Trisette, and Caitlin, congratulations on also being inducted tonight. Hero Passion, Deborah, got inducted last year. She shared so many memories. Beating Stowe to make it to the state tournament our junior year. The state tournament was tremendous, and we felt the support of this whole community. We won the SBC all 4 years. I remember playing Solon our senior year, and we came up short. It was heartbreaking. We wanted to get back to that state tournament. We worked so hard. Coach Case was trying to find the words at the time to console us after. He told us seniors that we left it all out there, and that is one of the highest compliments that he could give you this weekend. There were no regrets when we did leave it all out there, and I think it lit a fire to the underclassmen at the time to keep the success going. And I think it did, as you can tell with all of the team's accomplishments. To conclude, being from Austintown is something I'm very proud of. After high school, I attended Penn State and now live in the Columbus area. When people ask where I am from, I proudly lead with Youngstown. Then say Austintown, depending how familiar they are with the area. People who know this part of the state know we are hard workers with a strong mentality to never give up. Thank you to everyone in this community who has shaped me into the person I am today, and thank you for this honor tonight. I will cherish it forever.
Our next inductee, Sam Keenan, sophomore, class of 2003. It all started somewhere, and with Sam, it was with the Austintown Junior Soccer League. Even then, at 6 years old, he was described as full-spirited, tenacious, and driven. He and a group of his buddies stuck together with soccer through the years, and they built a soccer powerhouse at Pitch in the early 2000s. Along that road, Sam set his goals high, and he reached them. He emerged as a team leader and two-time All-Ohio because he not only wanted the best for himself, but for everyone around him. In the classroom, it was the same playbook: class president, National Honor Society, and statewide academic achievement awards. On to college at Bucknell University. Sam's promising athletic career was cut short by injury, so he focused on academics. Today, Sam is managing partner for a top-tier investment company in New York City, where he resides with his wife, Lindsay, and their 2 children. He keeps close ties with his family here in Austintown and is proud to be part of the Falcon family. Let's now induct Sam Kamens into the Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Okay. If you don't know me, you're gonna like me. 2 pages. It's not gonna be 3 minutes, but it will be less than 5. Thank you, Kathy Mock, Dave Philbin, and the Athletic Hall of Fame Committee for this incredible honor. It is truly one of the highlights of my life. Congratulations to my fellow inductees. Wally, it's great to see another Bucknellian in the room. Katie, I loved watching you play in high school. Stacy, I was neighbors with Maggie Case, so Tom Case was 2 doors down from me, so I think some of that volleyball excellence rubbed off on me over the years. My success has been built on 2 key pillars: community support and personal commitment. I'd like to reflect on those now. The first pillar is my invaluable support system and community. It all started with Nancy Bokish at the AGSL soccer fields, where she aptly named me Pretty Boy. Nancy was a shining example of this community and how it lifts up people to achieve their very best. There were also influential coaches: Clem Giacconi, George DeChef, Neil Fowler, Danny Bestick, and Louis Nanchel. Each of them played a crucial role in my growth, believing in my abilities and nurturing my potential. You might know the name Jason Dominic, a graduate of Fitch High School and a phenomenal soccer player in his own right. Jason taught me how to visualize the game and how to prepare mentally for success. He introduced me to professionalism even before I knew the word. Rigo Castile, head coach of Fitch Soccer during my time, was a constant presence in my life. Rigo led with passion, vision, and a true flair for the game. Then there were my teammates. We called ourselves the Six Pack, as any overly confident group of teenagers might. Shea Stewart, Alex Costello, Jason Giacconi, Ryan Puskis, and Gus Martinez. Together we shared unforgettable moments, from preseason camping trips in Crest Forest to winning district championships. Those memories are priceless. Most importantly, I want to thank my parents, Dale and Teresa, and my sisters, Teresa and Nicole. The practices were endless, the tournaments expensive, and to some even boring. But your commitment to my dreams was selfless and loving. I'll never forget the blue van, the sliced oranges, the endless chocolate brownies, Mother Teresa yelling, "Go Sammy," or more often, "Oh, come on back!" That's her favorite line. And Papa Dale crossing his arms in satisfaction after a goal. Rain or shine, you were there. And I'm forever indebted to you all. The second pillar is the commitment to personal growth and discipline. My sisters and I often call this our impossible is nothing motto, or sometimes simply giraffing, sticking our necks above the weeds to grow, even when it's uncomfortable, which is hard for us because we're all solidly under 5'5". On that point, you're looking at a 5'5" Division I athlete who started as a freshman in both high school and college, who played domestically and internationally, and who set records and won awards along the way. From Youngstown, Ohio, I navigated to Bucknell University, to New York City, and to the top of Wall Street. I promise you, this was an arduous but incredibly rewarding journey. I could have found excuses to achieve something less, but listening, learning, and giving my best with the right attitude is why I'm here today. Everyone in this room knows, success is not an accident. is not an accident. Few, and I mean few, have the courage to show up and put in the work necessary to make their dreams a reality. To the next generation in the audience tonight, my son Benny, daughter Sloan, nieces and nephews, Juliet, Theo, Monroe, James, and Simon. You will have opportunities to succeed in life. The question is whether you will prioritize yourselves, respect yourselves, and have the necessary discipline every day to achieve your potential. You're only limited by your commitment to doing this work. Lean on your support system, but also know that you can achieve great heights by not stopping at hurdles or weaknesses, but learning from them and adapting to find your angle. You have this strength. My wish tonight is to inspire those dreams in your minds and ignite the fire in your belly. With these two principles, your community and your commitment to personal growth and discipline, the future is all yours. And I can't wait to watch and support you in return. Lastly, to my dear wife, Lindsay, I love you. I love sharing this one and special life together. And to Bob, once a Falcon, still a Falcon, always a Falcon. Thank you. Can I just say, as a member of the class of 2003, I don't know if that means anything to anyone in this room, but we tragically lost Samantha Mock and Renee Romito in a car accident. And not one day since then have any of us forgot their love and passion for all of us. So tonight I just want to extend it extra special. We love you, and we care about you, and we're always thinking about you.
Thank you, Sam. Our next inductee, Kent Hamrock, basketball, class of 1984. Early on, Kent distinguished himself early as a leader on the basketball court. He earned starting five job his sophomore year and held the point guard floor leader role through his senior year. He was also named team captain and most valuable player. He moved on to Youngstown State University and liked coaching basketball and became the 7th grade head coach at Austintown Middle School. He also liked accounting and used that knowledge to shape a successful 30-year career. Kent and his wife, Lisa, are proud parents of 2 sons. Let's now induct Kent into the Fish High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Well, the good news is there's only one more. I want to start out by thanking the Hall of Fame committee. It's definitely a true honor. During my basketball career, I'm probably most remembered for the assist side I made, not about quality points. And tonight's going to be no different as I talk about individuals who assisted me in the person I am on and off the court. First person I want to talk about my family first. To my parents, while they're not here, they're definitely here in spirit. My wife Lisa, who I cherish every day that I get to spend with her. I had my sister came up from Florida, and my brother came in from North Carolina. You might have heard his name earlier, Steve Hamron. Class 1980, Hall of Fame team. And this is to honor the class of 1980 right here. Great team, Tommy Velosky, part of that team, also my brother. From my standpoint, as a fan, that team is the best basketball team that I ever witnessed in Fish High. So kudos to them. Next person I'm gonna talk about, he's got an association with fish, but he's really connected in a different way. This person was my basketball idol. And when I was a young kid, very young, I was about 3-4 years old when I started watching this individual. He played at Youngstown State, 1968, 1972. You might be thinking, Coach Denver played during that time. And he did. But my idol, unfortunately, was not Coach Keaton. It was Billy Johnson. Billy Johnson, back in the day, they didn't play at Beagley. Beagley didn't exist. They played their home games at Fitch, Struthers, and South High back then. So I, living in Austintown, had an opportunity to go watch Billy a lot easier. But I remember this day walking underneath the stands of Struthers High and waiting for Billy to come out of the locker room and come talk to me. And here I am with my brother, Steve. Okay, he's 4 years older than me. 3 and 7 years old early on. So 7, 11 years old. He would always take the time to come and talk to each of us. That relationship continued. It was my parents sending Christmas cards, visiting with him and his family up in Canton. He was truly my basketball idol. I remember it's been 50 years now, really. It's got some years on that since we were there. Whenever I had a chance to pick number 20, it was because of Billy. Billy is here tonight, sitting. I don't see Coach Steve there. He probably moved, but he's sitting next to Coach Becker over there. If you have an opportunity, look up Billy Johnson. And he's not Bill Johnson, the president of YSU. It's Billy Johnson, the great basketball player at YSU. Look up his stats. I know Coach Steve would have loved to have my stats look anything like his, that is for sure, because he was a great basketball player at YSU, friend to this day. We connect now through text, phone calls, whatever it may be, and he was my childhood idol. He's in the Youngstown State Hall of Fame. That leads me to my coaches. I had fantastic coaches, both with Mike's before, in basketball, talked about them. I'm going to start out with Coach Bobish. He was my 8th grade basketball coach at AMS. I was going to Catholic school here at IHM. And in 7th grade, he invited me to go on the bus to the 8th grade basketball game with his team. So my dad took me up to AMS, got on the bus, went and watched the Boardman AMS game. When I came back after watching that game, that team, by the way, was undefeated. I told my dad at one point, or and had him as being my coach. My dad looked at me and he said, "Yeah, the NIL he just gave me, yours for sure going there." Coach Bobish was definitely ahead of his time with everything he did. Coach Fender was my freshman coach. JD was Coach Ekus, and then varsity was Coach Kevin. Like the other 2 individuals talked earlier, Mike said, that these guys were not only great X and O coaches, they were great individuals. And they taught us not only about what we do on the court, but what we did off. So kudos to great basketball coaches here at Fitch. The last group I want to talk about is my friends. I moved to Georgia in 1993. So I needed to keep those connections going. So I created a golf group, and we get together a lot, but we still, there's not a day that goes by, even in Georgia, that these guys, I don't get a text from them, one of these guys. It's not Ohio State football, it's something going on with something else. It's a friendship that's been going on for about 30 years plus. I want to recognize a couple, and Mike Sacco's already talked about it. But Brad Hicks, he was my teammate starting in 8th grade through high school. He and Paula are our parents of my two boys. Wade Young, Tony Serdick, they were statisticians for my basketball team. Dave John, teammate, freshman, and JV. But later, he concentrated more on football, and he became the varsity announcer at the games. I think a lot of us who were part of those years will never forget the day that the national anthem did not work, and Dave, without hesitation, got the mic, started singing, and the whole crowd started singing with us. It was the best start for any of my basketball games at Fish. Then there's Mike Sacco, who you heard from earlier. Paul Payne. It's fantastic going in with him. But not only that, he was the best man in my way. Hanging with these guys for over 40 years and still counting is awesome. Let's keep it going. And lastly, sports at Fish allowed me to make long life relationships, gave me a competitive spirit, and we all know the competition each and every day is life. Thank you to everyone who made it very special. Thank you.
You know, something in the house tonight, we have two of the greatest athletes, among the greatest athletes at Youngstown State University in terms of Mr. Johnson, Billy Johnson in basketball, and Mr. Leo Hopkins in football. Coach Tressel always said that Leo had a lot to do with the projection of that team to the 4 national championships in the 1990s. So a special night here again. Our next inductee and our final inductee is Carlo Traficante, girls soccer coach, class of 1991. Most of us remember the challenging and competitive Federal League. Coach Carlo was named Federal League Coach of the Year 4 times. Those who know Carlo say his success was made possible with kids because he gets it. He knows when and how to push the motivation button and when to back off a bit. That special connection has earned him much admiration and respect as a coach and mathematics teacher and simply as a person over the years. Coach knew that winning mattered, but realized too that development of student athletes goes well beyond the field of play or the court of play. And for that, we thank you. Let's now induct Coach Carlo Traficante into the Fish High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
First of all, thank you all for sticking around. Apparently, I drew the last straw, or the shortest straw this year. As Mr. Monk mentioned, I'm a teacher. This is much more difficult than teaching 25 8th graders. Yeah, that's 13 and 14-year-olds. This is a lot harder than that. I would first like to thank Youngstown Athletic Hall of Fame Committee for choosing me as an inductee. I'm truly honored and proud to be inducted into the Austintown Fish Athletic Hall of Fame. I've worn many hats in my life, and I was proud to wear the hat as a Fish girls soccer coach for 9 seasons. Thank you, Mr. Bokish. It was an honor receiving that phone call from you. Marilyn Duramo for being a dear friend of mine for 35 years and for mentoring me through this induction process. Hopefully with this at work, perhaps my granddaughter Eva, who plays soccer in Allen, will listen to my advice now. She has not been impressed about my Coach of the Year awards that I mentioned to her, so maybe this will help my resume with her. Yeah, I'm not counting on it. You must know Eva. Walking down the hall yesterday, looking at the other amazing coaches that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame puts things into perspective for me. Just from my days as a student at Fish and my years coaching there were so many great coaches. Coach Dave Hardman, Phil Annarella, The goats on Case, Tom Fender, Brett Powell, Rich Kemp, Wally Ford, Mr. Denman. There's so many great coaches, not to mention the many greats that came before me. Not only did they have a positive impact in their sport that they coach, they were great leaders and tremendous role models. So to have my name included on the list of coaches in the Hall of Fame along with those people is a true honor. It's no secret that no one achieves success alone, so I need to start thanking a lot of people. I'm going to start with my first coach, the one who just introduced me to the game, my father, who was also learning the game himself as he was teaching me. Thank you for providing me the opportunity to play at a competitive level, have some great memories of traveling throughout the state and even the country, playing Austin Town travel soccer and playing club soccer with the Sons of Italy Soccer Club. Those experiences started my love for the game. I want to recognize and thank the high school coaches that started the programs here at Fish and my coaches during my high school years. Derek Wall and George Sheff were instrumental in starting the girls soccer program in 1991, the year I graduated. Having known both of those gentlemen made coaching the girls team extremely special for me. It's hard for me to believe that the girls program is going on its 35 years of existence, and I was part of the program for 17 years as a coach. I want to thank my two high school coaches, Frank Bucciarelli and Rio Castillo, who were my high school coaches. I learned a great deal from them, and they inspired me to want to learn more. The athletic directors that were supportive of my teams when I coached over my 9 years as the head coach: Dick Kenny, Joe Nora, and Rob Conklin. When I first got hired in Austin Town in 1991 to teach, there was no doubt that I wanted to coach. Coaching the girls team was not my first choice. But Dick Kenny had a vision for the girls program and thought that I could help with that. It was one of the best decisions I didn't have to make. I would also like to thank my first two coaching mentors. Before I started teaching in Austin Town, I taught 2 years in Union Falls, and they had a co-ed team there, and Judge Tom Old took me under his wings, and I was his assistant coach for 1 year. And then when I came to Austin Town, I was proud to serve as an assistant coach under Randy Pratt for the girls team. From 2002 to 2010, I had several assistant coaches. So when I reflected back on it, I started typing all the names out, and I'm like, that is a long list. So I don't know if that's a compliment, because they wanted to be part of the program, or else that was very difficult to deal with, that they didn't last very long under me. So I want to thank all of my assistants: Randy Pratt Jr., Jim Thompson, Frank Nolasco, Jim Civarella, Kelly Croisdale Castronova, Doug Schaefer, Ernie Yacovone, Tom Toderdale, John Breelove, and Tex Martin. So when asked what or who inspired me, what inspired me was the game itself. Not only did I love playing the game, I wanted to learn so much more about it. My goal in coaching was to pass along what I've learned about the game and to share my love and passion for the game to my players and hope that they will do the same down the road. Who inspired me was my players. In all my years of coaching the girls team, I was always so proud of our players. They represented our community beautifully on and off the field. They played the game the way it was meant to be played. They respected the game. They respected their opponents, the opposition, the coaches, and the officials. No matter who we played, the coach team knew that we were capable of winning the game. We were always competitive. The girls took great pride in representing Fish High School and wearing that name on the front of their jerseys. There were many great players and teams that I coached, but in the end, it's about the relationships formed by participating on and coaching an athletic team that holds close to my heart. Looking back, that's what makes me smile. That's what's special about sports, those relationships that you build along the way. You can't successfully coach a high school sport without support of family. I had high expectations and demands from the players, but nothing that I wasn't willing to give of myself, and that often meant a lot of time away from home, missing out on family time, including birthdays. I couldn't commit myself 100% without the love and support of family. Without their encouragement and support, I am not successful, and the team is not successful. Thank you to my entire family for supporting me over the 17 years of coaching. I was involved in the sport of soccer for nearly 40 years.
I am thankful for the friendships created over the years, my teammates from my playing days, my mentors, opposing coaches, officials, my assistants, the support of parents and program supporters, but I am especially thankful for the relationships with my players over the 17 years. Thank you for the fond memories, your friendship, and for sharing part of your lives with me. You, the players, made coaching fun. You inspired me every season. You kept me motivated. And then when it came to retire, leaving you made it a difficult decision. So thank you to all the girls that I had the privilege to coach over the years. This recognition is the greatest honor I've received. While my name and face are in the program and on that banner, from my perspective, my family, my assistants, and my players are honorary inductees. I am extremely proud and grateful to represent all these people as a member of the Austin Fish Hall of Fame representing the girls soccer team. And I listen to all the athletes up here thanking their coaches and how much of an impact coaches have had on your lives. I can promise you that it goes both ways. What an incredible weekend. Thank you, committee. Thank you all very much.
So everybody hanging around, you must all have 50-50 tickets, so. Next up, we'll have some closing comments by our committee chairman, Mr. Dan Vogich. Please welcome him.
Oh, what was that? I just heard, some confused right now. So many wonderful people in this place. I think he said that all the 50-50 is like $2,000 or something. Is that right? 200. Oh, 200. Yeah. Well, let me talk very short props here. First of all, the families that are here, supporting their inductee tonight and being very respectful to the people that spoke that weren't related to you. Listening to the stories, and they were very, very interesting times from each person that spoke and what their experience was like at Fitch High School in their respective sports. You know, from the individual inductees to all the football players coaching, and Carlo and Coach Hartman. The accolades are truly there and deserved and so. And what I take away from something like this is, you know, it wasn't so much that they were great athletes. They were great students, great people. I had the very fortunate pathway where I know a lot of the inductees that were in tonight, both on the football team and individuals. And I can tell you, it makes me feel very proud too. And I'm speaking for not just myself, but my committee, who I'm about to introduce to you. So, they didn't really want me to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So if you guys can come on up, I'll talk about that. And I promise you very little bit of time. Bill Meineke is in the Hall of Fame, 1967 football, had a full ride pit. You probably didn't want me to say that, but oh well. Tommy Pulaski, I had the privilege of coaching him in 8th grade. He's in the Hall of Fame as well, basketball. Dane Sternberger, teacher at Fitch and coach, former student at AMS. You know, I like that. Dan Redjack, same thing, teacher at Fitch and a coach at Fitch. Coach is right now is coaching golf. Is that right? Yep. Marilyn DeRamo. Marilyn DeRamo, former teacher at Fitch. Her two brothers are both in the Hall of Fame. Paul and Jim. John Mashishka. John Mashishka, been with the Hall of Fame since its start. Hall of Fame committee, that is. Debbie Love, another one. Since the start, Debbie's very much involved in track and field as a official. Has been doing that. I keep asking her every year, but they go back by so fast. What is it, 40 years now? Around there. And still 43 years old, that's what it says. So. Pete Mordino, former retired administrator in the Austintown School District, class of 1966. Yeah. Rich Devlin, teacher in principal and superintendent in the Austintown Schools, and a member of the Hall of Fame. Dave Philbin, who's not here tonight, he was Sam mentioned him. He talked to him a great deal through the, I guess you call it the procedure. We tried to assign one of our Hall of Fame committee members to each individual that's going in this year. Dave Philbin and Sam had pretty good conversations. They like each other very much, respect what they did. Donna Holmes, another Hall of Famer, absent because she's a golfer and just happens to be out of town this weekend because of a commitment with her league. Ken Jacobek. Ken Jacobek is the one person that probably is responsible as much of the military respect that we have in Austintown. And when you talk in terms of schools that have a lot of connectors with the military, you can start right here at Village High School, because that's where it's at. By the way, they have ROTC there now, in case you didn't know that. But Kenny's very, very, very involved in that. Did I miss anything? But then I want to talk in terms of Tom Long, who was the original speaker in the for the Hall of Fame banquet. And as everybody now knows, Lenny Gessler had done it for the last couple of years, and unfortunately passed away, really about a month ago. And I think he was on the golf course when he passed away. I don't know if you knew that, and I really loved golf. We really loved him, and he's still doing all his good. So Tom and Kathy Mock did the interviews to start off the evening, and of course Tom just moved right in like he's done it every day. The two of them are just wonderful people, and a definite addition that's so positive to our committee. You guys gonna come down there? Whistle Pixie. Kathy, come on. By the way, that line came from a movie. I don't know if you got to pull those pistols or Whistle Pixie. You don't remember that? Clint Eastwood, come on. I'm not that old. You can't do this alone. And we as a team have been working on this evening since the early part of the year. And what we get from a night like tonight is gratitude. Just to hear the athletes and what they have to say. To meet with them and talk about things. And their parents, and in some cases, brothers and sisters. Just wonderful, it really is. Austintown is a place where people connect a lot. And Austintown schools are really a big part of that. When two of my secretaries are here tonight, imagine that. Ted Lorenzo's back here, Beck Dinky's over there. They were secretaries. How about that? For me, they made me look good. But I want to thank Monica Devers and Rob Santos from the trustee and government of Austintown. They're here. And that's what makes this so connected. to the community, things like that. Thanks, Monica. Those lost there? Our advertisers, by the way, that, program that you have, I can almost guarantee you 50 years you'll still have it from now. And you won't have it, maybe it'll be your son or daughter. The one who puts that together is over there at Advanced Printing in the Austintown Plaza. And she does an incredible job for us. Like I said, that program is really going to be with them for a long time. That's Carol Flowers, her name, by the way. I think I got about everything I need. Oh, I'd like to thank Les Horvath and Rachel. They're the ones that do the catering for us, and they do a great job. I think we can give them an applause for such a great job. And of course, Matt Gardner, and this is one of the banquet centers, maybe the only one in Austintown, but it is really very accommodating to a venue like we have here. And certainly respect and love everything they do for us. And I think with that, I would say one last thing. Congratulations to all the inductees. Tonight you made history in the Austintown community and at Austintown High School. Congratulations. You made history.